Oh yes, it is a Monday. I obviously don't know what the damn date is. Let me just go find out. First of all, good sir.
What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, nigga. It is
Uh,
the
uh,
ninth of. It is the ninth day of the ninth month in this year.
okay,
September is a flavor month. It's a firstly
man.
a month I'm born in. Secondly, there's a lot of us. If you do the math, you all can know why
Dude,
that
there's a
is the
lot of.
case.
I'm like, now I realize. Now I know.
Ah,
Must have been fun, huh?
Simabana a bit festive. We are festive children.
Must
Just
have been
we, were-
fun.
we were children of happiness. It was time of happiness going on. People were celebrating, and 9 months later, bam!
Bam, bam.
There we
The
were.
niggas who did that like this past December. They
Yeah.
changing diapers right now.
Injalo, my will. How you doing?
What?
How you been?
Damn. Yeah, it's been a crazy one, man. It's been a crazy one. Obviously, I mean, like coming into spring, everything is like blooming. In terms of ideas, in terms of what to do. I mean, like we finally letting go of our blankets and our jackets and all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, it's been a crazy one, and I think like on the event side, on the anything that has to do with people going out and spending more time outside. And yeah, you've been away. There's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
going on, man. But we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on. There's a whole lot of shit going on, bro.
There is when I still so the thing about September is like it's the beginning of spring. So spring is officially so basically even human nature. The moment it gets a bit warmer, it gets a bit nicer to go outside. People start getting into that whole build up to the festival. Like
Hmm.
literally productively, you've got September, you got October, and half of November. The
You,
rest
mm.
people are not going to be working. People are going to be pretending to be sitting at their desk, but they ain't going to be working, man. They all thinking about their bonuses. Those who are lucky enough to get bonuses, I don't know what that is, man. I mean,
So that mean
I don't give myself a bonus. I don't know. I don't know what the hell a bonus is.
that means for us people who work for ourselves, we're gonna have to be mwah, mwah, kissing ass and trying to pay extortion money for people to pay us, because they're really not gonna be paying attention. So it's gonna be a bit of suffering. And I'm just reminded. I mean, like we're talking about spring. And I'm thinking about the late great Yuma Sekela had I think it was a 2005 album. I just forget the title. It was released by, or it was produced, and most of the songs written by Uzwai Bala.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's a song there that talks about spring. I mean, like I love how they captured it, about it's gonna be miniskirts again. It's gonna be chivalry all up in the air. It's gonna be a lot of macho men. I mean, like these are the lyrics, a lot of macho men who are gonna be changing diapers and stuff like that. So if you're a big fan of Yuma Sekela or love music, or want to get the interpretation of what spring is going into summer, go
No
find that
doubt.
song. Yeah, man. It was a
Yeah.
2005 release, and I
The,
remember because I played it all the time for Tutus. You know who that is.
of course, no doubt, no doubt. My nigga too.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So,
man. He's grown. He's grown. I
very
was
good.
here for I was here for a break, and he gave us and helped us plant some spring onion, some mint,
Okay.
some
Oh,
rosemary.
he got some green
Yeah,
fingers going on there.
I'm just short of weed. Watch the space.
Watch the space. The thing, man,
Bro.
like weather does a lot for the mood in a season. So it's only logical for people to be happy around this time of the year because it's just
Listen to
crazy.
me.
You know what I'm saying? Like when winter comes in. I mean, for example, I'm a spring baby
Yeah.
myself, but I don't know. I like winter. Because when it's too hot, like what can you do? You can't walk around naked.
Go
Like
jump in
that's
the
what you.
pool.
Like when it's
I'm a
too hot, it's
Pisces. I'm
like
a Pisces, so I have no issues, man.
So I always say, hey man, summer is a crazy season, but it's a beautiful season too.
Yeah. Man, Zizi, there's been shitloads happening, man. Obviously, we have to talk about the boys. I'm a Pogo Pogo doing the most. doing the most. But before we get to that, man, like I think like in the art space as well, because I think for artists as well, it's the I mean, getting out their season, people are
State
releasing
season, no
albums.
doubt.
You know what I mean. And we just recently lost to Dr. Bishop Jessica Mbangeni, DJ Fresh's wife, Tabiso Sikwane.
Ish,
Um,
man.
it's just been crazy, man. It's been
Mapaput,
crazy. Mapaputsi, abo bantu labakhuluma nezinja la.
you know what I'm saying? One of the dopest lyricists ever. That nigga could spit heavy. It was
Yeah.
too nice. And
I
people are
think
just,
and Magesh, like it's almost like they were influenced a lot by hip hop, but just like nah, let's give it a South African twist. You know,
I
Booga
think
Love
I,
as well.
I think there's something about the mass because my cash, my papute,
My
my heel,
Paputs,
my
oh Dr.
heel.
Makhil.
I'm telling you, man, something about the mass. Like those guys
Oh
could
man,
spit heavy. You
yeah.
know, and I mean, Makhil was also late, right?
Oh
Makhil, I think he's also late, right?
yeah, Makhil is later as well. Yeah, man.
You know what
Super
I'm talking about,
unfortunate.
man? Ish, man. Crazy, 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 man. Unfortunate that these
Yeah.
people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
and people always going on about a whole lot of nothing. Well, I'm not too sure about it.
yeah,
The whole Fresh's wife and him and a public apology, and it's come a bit too late and all of that. And these people like were friends, and like sometimes like I don't know, man. Like sometimes we don't know how to stay out of people's shit.
the thing
I
is,
just
Caesar,
feel.
you know, people will always have an opinion. That's just the unfortunate thing about this thing called life
Mm.
is that people will always have an opinion, and whether it's a warranted one or not. Firstly, I'm not here to advocate for Fresh's opinions or his public
His
apology,
lifestyle or whatever.
his lifestyle, whatever it is. But seemingly they were cool come the timing of her passing, you know.
Yeah.
And if they were cool, you know, I mean, who are we
Who are
to
we?
be to be having no too late? The fact that she was on his podcast, like or it was broadcast rather, day before she passed, that
Mm.
speaks volume. He, you know, clearly, I'm assuming he apologized to her. I mean, that's why she was willing to do that. And if at her memorial he felt that, you know what, they lived a public life, so there was public opinion, nothing
Yeah.
wrong for him. It's never too late to say sorry, Caesar, whether someone is even
Never.
alive or not, because they have children. So the children
Mm.
are gonna, you know, are at least privy to, and also who says in heaven she can't hear his apology. But for people to say, I always think miserable people are the one that never see the silver lining in anything,
In any
you know,
situation,
in
yeah.
any situation, whether the timing is late, whether the timing is whatever the case may be about the timing. So what? The bottom line is that it's an apology. There are people who have never received the apology. I wonder if Ike Turner ever apologized to Tina.
Oh
You know what I'm
man.
saying? You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
man.
So I mean, really, like all this, they're just people who are just negatively minded, and they wonder why sometimes their life is up and down. Things are not going right. It's your mindset. It's your
It's your
mindset. The fact
mindset.
the dude apologized. Hey, who are we to
Who
say
are
it was
we?
late, or it was never? I don't know, but who says?
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, it's a sad loss. I mean, I think it clouded a fact that like we lost a brilliant broadcaster,
Yeah,
who's done wonders both on television and specifically my my bosses, the SABC and SAFM, which was
yeah.
a phenomenal where I got to know her. Was a very phenomenal broadcaster. So yeah, man. Yeah, moving right along. Moving from all of this, of course, Mapaputi and the legacy. He was 47, I think. Didn't get to,
Wow, he
yeah.
wasn't even 50 yet.
He wasn't even 50 yet, bro.
There's
And
something going on about people dying between 45 and 55
remember
over
we
the
spoke
last.
about this.
I don't know what's going on, man. I
Remember we
don't know what's
spoke
going
about
on.
this. Yeah. So take care of yourself, nigga. Shit, you
Hey,
ain't
man,
get to half a
trying to.
century yet.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to live my life the best way I know how, man. And
Yeah. And
And
apparently he was sick for about I think for about a year, like in and out of a hospital.
God
And I
damn.
think just outside the entertainment space as well. I remember I had a meeting yesterday, business and all.
Mhm.
And obviously people Orio,
I was about to
from
say,
the
man.
south,
Also, I saw that, man. God
yeah,
damn.
yeah. So a lot of messages of condolences, and obviously him being celebrated as one prominent person who actually was passionate about local government and governance.
Yeah.
So akuhlanga lungihlio family yakhe. And I think enough with the sad stuff, bro.
H dog.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't bypass. Uh,
I'll help you move. I'll help you move out of there. I'm a bucker. I'm a bucker motherfucker. They did the shit. After years of being evaded by the Freedom Cup.
I think
Island.
since 2012, the last time they won that thing, right?
Yeah.
Since 2000. John says so. I don't know. I've been saying this to people like the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, most great things in life, right?
Yeah.
Or great moments, people tend to acknowledge them after they have passed, and they don't
Mm.
actually like live the actual, or rather, they were not like alert at that moment in time that, oh shit, this is happening. You know what I'm saying? And I said this, and someone said, hey man, you are maybe being in a bit too hasty. I'm like, no. I think we are witnessing most likely, possibly the best rugby team, the best team that has ever
Ever.
played the sport of rugby.
Ever.
Not just the best Springbok team, the best team that has ever played the sport of rugby. We have beaten New Zealand 4 times back to
Mm-hmm.
back. We have not done this since my dad was born in 1940. No, since my mom was born in 1949.
Shit.
1949 was the last time we beat the All Blacks 4 games back to back.
That's crazy. That's some
And
history.
we're about to do a whitewash now. I mean, we've got 2 more games against Argentina to go,
Argentina,
and
yeah.
and I believe Rassi is going to have 2 teams. One team is going to travel to Argentina, and one is going to stay here because we're playing one
Mm.
leg there and one leg here. I think our
Probably
closing game.
acclimatizing and strategizing, obviously.
But like I mean, it's not like they're going to play this coming weekend. It's the following weekend.
Oh
There's
yeah,
always like
yeah, yeah.
there's always a break in
There's gonna
between.
be a
So
break,
then,
yeah.
and hey man, these are sports professionals. Well, acclimatize them to what? You know what I'm saying? They must go and they get paid the big bucks for it. 3 days, boom, continue. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, man, like
Which
it's crazy. Like we literally are playing the rugby that I can honestly say we have no flaw. It might not be the prettiest rugby, but
yeah.
look at this. People
Mm.
say New Zealand play a running rugby and everything. They didn't score single try this Saturday. We scored 2.
Which was crazy because that's the one thing. Oh, by the way, I was watching with Umpinga, no Bra Obs, then obviously Oma Andy, no Landiga no Mawawa.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
very beautiful. You can imagine how it was.
Nigga, it is too
um,
much that thing.
everybody on the edge of their seats. Obviously, unlike the last game, because they scored early. They scored a try earlier the last game, and for 60
Yeah.
minutes we were on the edge of our seats. And this time around, it wasn't a perfect all put together strategy or game, because it's a game, obviously. So New Zealand was just not going to stand still, but like they came close. But obviously, as you say, we are probably witnessing the best team in the world to ever play the sport.
I'm telling you,
And of
still,
course, yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah, that's got to do with everything that's going on in Gqeberha and Nelson Mandela Bay. We've got at the helm of the Springboks a dude from Mid Dispatch, and we've got for a captain a guy from Sweden. Now, can you imagine? So PE,
Ndona sezitwe.
yeah,
Yeah, no
man,
doubt.
yeah, and obviously he's coming home.
Yeah, it was just announced today that his contract with the racing
Racing
to
96, 96, 90, 90 something.
whatever that team is, because
In
you
fact,
see
it's
that
right here.
negotiation.
That's right here if you're reading to the
Whatever
viewers.
whatever that team is. Oxalayo, the owner of that team,
Ndwana yethu.
was saying that he's overweight, blah blah blah. I mean, what the hell? I mean, really overweight? How? And he just like shut down the noise. He scored a try even this past weekend. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
I love how they like. I don't know. Rassi's strategy is like crazy, and I think like if you playing against such a coach and a team, you don't know what to expect. You know. The other day you had who's the guy, the hooker, scoring a
Mbonam.
try. Ombonambi.
Oh,
You know, you had a dude that big scoring a try, like and this past this past game, we had
it was
Cheslin.
Malcolm. Yeah, it was Malcolm Marks and Sia, I think, scored. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's crazy. The
So
forward scoring. No one. Wild, man.
crazy, my bro. And yeah, so he's coming home, and obviously he's happy about it. Obviously everything resolved amicably, as they say. And now he's going back to Durban.
Yep, players coming back. I guess it's going to be a bit of a schlep for his wife and so forth, because they have to like literally like remove
Bro,
and so forth. But hey, man, it's the territory. She chose that life, and I mean it's unfortunate for the kids, but they're still young, so at least it's not too bad. But
as a
yeah,
multi
man.
as a multi-millionaire, moving ain't shit for you, bro. That's like
Hey,
chatter a
serious.
damn plane, chatter a damn plane. Jay-Z, get your we need to move, bro. We still managed by thingy, right?
By Rock Nation Sports, yeah.
Rock Nation Sports, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still managed by them. That's pretty dope. I mean, he's made some good money and still going to be making more money. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he bought himself out of the contract. So I think The Rock and Sharks helped
Yeah.
to buy him out of that contract. He's not lost money at all in that. So that's pretty dope,
Which
man.
is dope. Which is dope, man. I think like it doesn't matter whatever sphere you are in or industry you are in. I mean, like these are things. I mean, like we're going towards the consultancy work or entrepreneurship right now. So I mean, like if you feel you are not being appreciated or whatever, use your brain. Strategize. I mean, like and use people. And by the way, before we go on to any and everything, remember for the longest time on this podcast, we've been going on about Chitima. Well, there's a new queen in town.
Hmm.
That's the lady. What's her name? Ufa Dania.
Okay.
Ufadania, who was, I think she was a runner-up, and she's the one who was tipped to win because of her personality. And I think like one of the things that I loved about her, I got to know her after the whole competition,
Uh-huh.
where she was talking and appreciating South Africans and the fact that they are actually the ones that actually pushed her to at least be in the finals and all of that. And to think that like for fuller-figured women who are thought not to be part of such pageants because of a personality, because of like we're talking about a graduate, you know. We're talking about someone who comes from nothing and made something of herself and being embraced, and it's just crazy. I was just thinking South Africans are just bipolar. Motherfuckers is just bipolar. By the way, we need your comments. If you are watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook, please join the conversation. Share your opinions. Okay. Now, right now, South Africans are going for I think 100. They're trying to raise 100,000 rand for her to come visit South Africa. And this is after South Africans like voted for her like crazy and vouched for her. And
I
for me,
I
it's
I,
like a
I
feel good, beautiful story of a person who, for starters, you know how people be body shaming, and for her to have that kind of poise, that confidence,
mhm.
that level of humility, which I think people, South Africans, resonate with, which is why they are kind of like inviting her into the country.
I also think I'm questioning, was the Africans backing her genuine, or they were just taking the piss to try and
to get Chitima. That's a fuck,
I
girl. We don't care.
I did get the sense that we are just that we're taking the piss, but it could have been genuine. I don't know, but I was like, hey, South Africans got it. We are a special bunch of fucking people. Swear to
We
God.
are crazy, man. We are crazy people, and I think sometimes justifiably, because as I always say, I mean, like shit. Look at us now, going back to Chidima. The whole thing, Chidima was just a pawn. All right,
Mm,
in a game of chess, where South
sure.
Africans have been complaining for the longest time. Where I mean, like now, when you look at the raids that are being done in businesses, like established businesses that employ illegal people, like immigrants, because they're paying them less, because these people are going to disappear at any point in time. That takes the mickey out of South Africans who are trying to get those jobs and all of that. And I think it's a valid conversation that the South Africans have been dying to have, but obviously being shut down.
No, no doubt. It is.
Yeah,
We live in strange times,
yeah.
but we should embrace them.
Yeah, and there she is, by the way, whoever you're watching,
So, what is she
graduated.
graduating, by the way?
Um,
What does she study? Like, what is her?
I have no idea. But all I know is that well, because I looked at the entire personality, briefly but just before we went on air, the whole story, and I mean, like to yeah, I mean, like I was going through her Facebook page.
Yeah.
You look at the kind of work that she do. You look at how simple a person she is, and how driven she is. And I think people need that without people body shaming, or
No
going
doubt.
on whatever. Yeah, man. Geez, what else has been going on? Apparently, the price of petrol is going down. I don't know. You might know something about that, sir.
If it's going down, that would have been last week because it usually goes down on the or up on the first Wednesday of the month, and
Hmm.
last week Wednesday was the fourth, so that would have been last month. But maybe it's going to be going down again end of this month because I know it did go down last week. Yeah.
It's
So
crazy. I'm getting a comment. Crazy how South Africa has money to bring a Nigerian lady to the country. We sure can embrace our own fully figured ladies. I love Ufa's vibe though. That's my Andy, right?
no doubt. Yeah. No, I
Maybe she
think.
could, but like the beauty about it, and what I mean, like, thanks for that for that comment, Andy. Because if you think about it, like, I mean, we have this, like, Miss Tufuza, Miss Foshoza, Miss all of these things, and maybe she can come as a guest, and obviously, as a speaker, around people who are body shamed, and all of this, because at the end of the day, we still need to learn from each other. How does she do it? Because I mean, you know,
No doubt.
yeah,
No doubt. Still.
yeah. So thank you for that comment. Wherever you are watching, please, YouTube, the Slicer TV podcast, or the Facebook page. Please do share your comments, whatever you feel like you would like us to talk about. But yeah, but like that's what we have currently talking about, this beautiful, phenomenal, full-figured woman. I know
No
Sisa
doubt.
bazawuthi kusesama.
Fundini,
I know y'all niggas
I'm
though. I know how y'all niggas be.
I'm all about, fortunately about life is that people have preferences. And there are people who it's summer every day, it's winter every day,
Mm-hmm.
and we must allow them.
Allow people to be.
Yeah,
All
man,
right,
listen to me,
man.
man. Women need love, regardless of the size or the weight, they all need love.
Oh, gotta have a little bit of love. Now you done said it like who does it like that? Cedric the Entertainer. Everybody needs love. Love. Yeah, but anyway, we move on, man. Like we're talking so much. Probably somebody's asking, where's the first lady? She's busy. She has a conference. We will not divulge where she is. We know y'all people and stalking and shit. But I would like for us to tap into the music feature.
Okay.
I would like us to, but before we do that, man, like I think fitting as well is Kendrick Lamar. How beautiful!
Yeah, I saw
How
that
beautiful is
announcement.
that?
I saw the announcement that because Jay-Z is in charge of the music at the Super Bowl, uh, and he's so this year it's going to be Kendrick Lamar, or not this year, next year. It's next
Next
year,
year,
I
yeah.
think, right? Yeah,
Next year.
next year, January or something like that is going to be the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl is going to be in New Orleans or New Orleans, pretending how you pronounce that, New Orleans.
Yeah.
So I saw an article today. Master P
That's what I
reached,
was gonna be asking you about. It's like, what's up with that? And it's like, no, you need to include Lil Wayne. Like,
but listen, I kind of get what Master P is saying. I mean, the guy is from New Orleans, and Super Bowl, Kendrick. I mean, you can't impose somebody to, but it would be nice if Jigga were to maybe add or do a special
mm,
surprise. What maybe you should just ignore and not say anything, and then Kendrick, come the
yeah.
event, do a little surprise. Given the fact that it's in New Orleans, why not?
But like, wouldn't it be? Would it not have been better if Master P had this conversation with Kendrick's team or Jay Z's team, rather than just going out and blurbing like, you know, basically
But
just putting it out there? Like, why?
I don't know how it came about, right? His comment, but I don't think he just stuck his hand up. I think he was being interviewed or something or another, and the comment of
Probably asked,
the Super
yeah.
Bowl, and then he just decided, and then he, I guess, threw his personal view around it, and obviously, I
Mm,
guess it gained traction, and it made a bit of noise. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it is what
Yeah.
it is. But what he's saying is not wrong, I think personally.
No, no, it's
I don't.
not. It's not. I mean, like if I mean, like you go perform in Cape Town, you from PE, and these guys do this all the time. I was like, yo,
Yeah,
dude, like come through, and stuff. So it's kind of understandable, but it's a big one for hip hop because
no doubt.
yeah, I think it's a big one for hip hop. And talking of things that are big around hip hop, we're celebrating 20 years of a particular damn album that was like, man, you put me onto this shit. When I saw the cover, I was like, there goes Urara again. There goes
Yeah,
Urara again, man.
no doubt. No.
Yeah.
So it's actually I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, I've been reviewing albums that have been previously released, who are celebrating 20 years,
Mm.
25 years, or whatever the case in 10 years. And that just talks to maybe the state of music today, that like, not many new albums are coming out. So this week's review is Slum Village's album Detroit Delhi, which
No,
came out
man.
in 2004. And it was the third album, but second album under Columbia Records. So and it was the first album where it was just T3 and Elzad on the
Yeah.
album, because in
Yeah.
Trinity, Batin was still in the. So Slum Village is personal to me. It's like it's actually my all-time favorite duo or group of all time in hip hop. It's an amazing album. It's 14 tracks, and so initially, Slum Village was Jay Dilla, T3, and Batin, all young boys from Detroit. And Dilla left the group to go solo. And then the second album, Trinity, they got a young guy coming out of Detroit called Elzar, and he
Yeah.
joined the group. And the response from the people was, "Whoa, Elzar's dope, heavy hitter, sick ass MC." And this was the first album where it was just T3 and Elzar on the album. It was under Capitol Records at the time. The album had 14 tracks. So the things that why I was talking about initially about the fact that good music is so hard to come by. So I was obviously playing the whole album today and yesterday, and I was thinking, if this album were to be released today, it would be like a banger. Because like I don't skip a single song in the 14 songs.
Yeah.
The first single was Selfish, produced by Kanye West. It was a baby unknown at that time, and it was I mean, Selfish is a sample from from an Aretha Franklin song. You know what I'm saying? And the song is "Call Me If You Call Me." Da, 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 you know what I'm saying? It's crazy sample. And also unknown to a lot of people, that was John Legend's vocals in the chorus there, who was also unknown at the time. You know, John Legend sings the selfish part. I'm calling. That's John Legend. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, Kanye
And
been
then,
riding with him for quite some time, yeah.
well, he was signed to Kanye West stable
Yeah,
initially,
yeah, yeah.
his first album. So he was riding with Kanye. I mean, and then like the next hit single, which was a surprise, which I think was possibly Slum Village's first club banger, "Closer."
Oh yeah.
"Closer" was a real club banger. I don't know how it did globally, but I know in South Africa, because it had this drum, had this like
The
reggae
intro.
dancehall type bass line, and that was produced by T3. A lot of people don't know that's produced by T3. T3
Damn.
produced that, and you know, and I mean the album has got some like real heavy hitters. I'm talking about like if you think of songs on us, still things we do. Remember things we do, things we do for you,
Oh
things we
man.
do. It's a dope hip hop beat.
Oh
It's
man.
crazy. Things we do, and then obviously the track called Reunion, produced by Dilla. You know, they took like a beat. You know, the last track of the album, but it is. I mean, there's even old Dirty Bastard featuring on the album. Some dirty,
ODB.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, that time, Dwele also features on Closer, and
Dwellums.
Dwele also features on Count the Ways. You remember Count the Ways?
Yeah.
Many
Oh
ways to touch
man.
you. I've been thinking of you. You know, so when I played it today, I was like, whoa, this is actually a banging album. And yet, like, because we were so spoiled for choice around the time, people weren't rating it like as the album of the year but it was such a dope album. When you play today, I think very few albums come close to that.
But you and I bumped that shit for the longest time coming from
Nigga, I was just thinking about it. It was 2004. I was still with Red Bull at the time, so I was
yeah.
doing a lot of traveling in the Eastern Cape. So in the car, that's literally all I was like playing, going from P to Grahamstown to King to whatever it is. Like
Fucking Potts and Johns and shit.
all the time I was bumping Slum V. I was like such a fanatic, you know.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to get to see them a few years later in Joburg, 2009, I think, or something like that. Yeah, they were Baseline, dope concert, two dope concert. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's my album review of the week. This year marks 20 years of the album's release. It came out in July of
2000
2004.
yeah.
June 29, 2004. That's the exact date. Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine that,
man.
man.
That's
Too
crazy.
dope.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my review for the week. Thank you. And I can't rate a classic. A classic is a classic, so it's a classic. That's it. It's a
It
classic.
doesn't really need
It
a
doesn't really
rating.
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't need a
Yeah.
rating. It's sheer dopeness. It's a great album. If you've never listened to it, do yourself a favor, listen to it.
All right, man. That is it. Remember, we are still moving on. And as we said earlier on, the first lady of the podcast couldn't join us. She's busy with a very important, fixing of the country and people's ways of thinking. And mental health is what she's all about. But we managed to, because we thought that we'll be able to steal her, during dinner or whatever, where at the conference where she is. But unfortunately, we couldn't. But because we are such resourceful people, we decided we are going to tap into one of her older videos, and it probably will give you an idea of why we have her on the podcast, because she was doing this on different platforms, and we said, hey, and this is probably the reason why.
Give up on your dreams, don't give up on yourself. It can also be a developmental crisis issue. Keep pushing and stay the course.
All right, and that is it. We are going to check out what the queen, the first lady of the podcast, has for us.
Hey, Mandase, it's been a minute. I know. Welcome back to our Sunday mental health conversations or Sunday mental health sessions. Guys, I'm just coming back home from an amazing event that was hosted by e-residence department, which is under the same division that I work in, and I just feel motivated. I feel inspired. I feel, I feel rejuvenated way too. The event was like top. And so it inspired Banandi Benangokonani about the importance of finding your purpose. It is so important, as you are trying to figure out life, as you're trying to survive in life, you must find something that you are passionate about. Find something that you can do. You can do it as your job if you are lucky, as every day, or you can do it as a kind of like hobby, something that you do in your spare time. It's so important. The reason why I did try to find it, because I know in Dogbana, life is not always fair. So abanye abantu, unfortunately, are going to have to do what they need to do to survive, right? So that is, sometimes you take a job because you gotta make money, and unfortunately you have no other choice at that particular point in time. But if you do get a chance, if you do get the opportunity to choose something that you're passionate about, choose to study something that you're passionate about, choose a career that you are passionate about. We are not always lucky to be able to do what we love and what we're passionate about. But let me tell you, some people, and then they decide to follow their dreams, because it is so important to actually figure out what your passion is, because once you do, guys, it is so easy. It makes life so easy. For example, namhlanje, because it's a Sunday, if I was not passionate about my work, and I was going to be complaining, I was going to be, why this event is on a Sunday, what this and that, like, people who are not passionate, they're always complaining, they're always very negative, they're always dragging their feet, they're always, because sometimes kunzima to be committed to something that you're not passionate about, kunzima to extend yourself, to kunzima to go above and beyond for something that you're not passionate about. It's not that there's anything wrong with you, but it's just that you're not passionate about it. And so, you just want to get it over and done with. You just want to get the job done. You understand? But it can't be that that's it for you. So, as I said, this is just because I feel inspired and I feel blessed that I get to do what I am passionate about every single day. So even if I get to work on a weekend, it doesn't make me feel resentful or angry or bitter. Even if it's a Sunday, I can still feel positive and feel like I'm contributing, like I'm making an impact, because I'm doing something that I am passionate about. I am doing purposeful work that is impactful. I just love what I do. I am blessed, and I know that a lot of people don't have that yet. But all I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be a job. It can be something that you do on the side. Your side hustle must be something that you're passionate about, at least. So something to think about, and to just kind of like put the energy out there. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your purpose. Try to figure that out. Don't give up on things that you're passionate about. Don't give up on yourself. Okay. Love you.
I don't know. Can you hear me? Something's crazy is going on, but for some odd reason I cannot hear the man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
talking to I'm talking to myself as well, man.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I can hear you now, play. I can hear you now.
I'm
God
talking
damn.
to myself, dog.
You know,
Oh, I was saying like Mace oh, I was singing on the way back, like we're back, we're back, we're back, and
so
Mace on his podcast, man, like dropping that shit. But
it's it's
anyway,
it's
yeah.
amazing. It's you know. Thank you, Tops, for that. And so I mean, I know we're gonna get to where I was last week and so forth, but I was staying at this apartment hotel called Tokyo, you know, in
Hmm.
Cape Town, and they had these by the lifts every floor. There'd be like a Japanese word, and it would mean something. And one of the things I posted about in my post was there's a word called ikigai, as in spelled Ikijai, and it
Hmm.
means discover your purpose in life. That's what it
Yeah,
means. And
I
and,
think
and it's
Japanese are all about that, yeah.
yeah, and she's talking about knowing your passion, knowing what what you should be doing in life, and knowing that have meaning and purpose in all the things you do. Follow your passion, and sometimes it pays, sometimes it doesn't pay. Uh,
Yeah.
I think you and I are living testimony of following your passions and doing things that are dear and dear to you and passion driven, and yet they still also pay the bills. That's
That's
just like,
tough.
there's no better meaning in life. It's like being a football player or being a musician, getting paid for what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's just the so I love that, and I even took a picture of it and I posted about it. And, ikigai, discover your purpose in life. I
Yo,
was like,
man. Speaking of which, before we get to the movie review, and by the way, it's a crazy movie. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy, and people have been talking about it quite a lot. It's a very rare genre for the people in the social space to be, blabbing about. We're gonna be talking about it a little bit later on. So we invite your comments if you've watched it when we get into it. But you were out in Cape Town, man. You were hanging out. Hold on. Let me find. I need to find you were in a different space. You you you
well,
you was in a different space, nigga. Like let me put this shit on. Probably people will get them.
We start taping Family Feud Botswana. And guess what? Those kids from the program that graduated now have jobs on the show. Then next year, God willing, we're going to have more studio space built. We've already located and targeted some areas, and we're going to have these studios built over there. And then
I'm gonna put it on pause so that like like you can tell us all about this, and obviously that's footage that you actually took at the event.
yeah.
What was going on? I
So
think it's called MIP.
MIP Africa, yeah. So MIP
Yeah.
Africa Fame Week. So it is the content market that happens annually in Cape Town. The owners of the event is MIP Africa and Fame Week. And so this year, one of the invited guests was Steve Harvey to talk
Mm.
about things he's doing. So he's doing a whole building studios and doing a whole production and shooting of the show of his, the Family Feud. He's shooting in Botswana, and he speaks about his passion for Botswana and how he actually drew his ancestry somehow to South Africa. So Fame Week basically is the business of content. So
So
literally,
ngumshida wala bebudladleni. In other words,
apparently so,
Ilaiti yala
so
bebudladleni.
so Fame basically it's the business of content, meaning that all the players in the content space. So you have the likes of your NBC Universal who had a stand there, the likes of your Paramount, Prime Media Studios, Court West, Netflix, all of them. So it's the business behind the scenes of TV and film. So you have your broadcasters there, you have the guys who are buying content who are there, you have the guys who
Mm.
are funding content like your IDC, who are also in the mix there. And then you have obviously your sellers, which are your exhibitors, producers who are, so everybody basically, it's a whole floor. It's an exhibition, but it's a bit, it's literally, it's not just a look pretty. People are conducting meetings, are signing deals, are trying to, SABC had a big stand there. They buying and selling. So it's the business of content, but film, obviously scripted content, so film and television and some documentaries and stuff like that. And it's over 3 days. It was in Cape Town, and reason I was there is because we have our own film festival, like I'm wearing the Joburg Film Festival.
The Joburg Film Festival, yeah.
So that's next year in March. In March next year, and in our Joburg Film Festival, we have a market called the JBX, which is the Joburg Exchange, over 3 days, where we also do exhibiting of content. MultiChoice is one of our biggest ambassadors and partners of that. MultiChoice is also, I must say, eMedia also had a nice big stand there. It was pretty awesome. So I mean, literally, it was it's a market for business. You know what I'm saying? It was not just a go there, look pretty environment. And within that, there are also panel discussions and topics. And one of them was obviously, which Anele was moderating. That one.
Moderating, yeah.
Yeah, the one of Steve Harvey. But there are many panel discussions that they're talking about content in Africa. Where does it stand right now? What's happening next? The streaming services. What's going on with that? Are public broadcasters in Africa still a thing? Should we support them? We should support them.
It's kind of crazy. So I'm sorry to cut you, Zizi, because I think after the announcement of the GNU, there is, I think the Minister of Communication was busy talking about, unbundling, the SABC, get it to be provincial all over again, and they run their different business units, and people were saying, hey, because obviously that it's a volatile space. So I mean, like, people were like, whoa, GNU, and then the next thing there's like this unbundling of a public broadcaster. And we also have I believe the minister was there as well. I think
Lord
I had one
was there,
so
Lord
yeah
was there. Yeah. I mean, like, so we all wearing these.
Did y'all get to hang out?
So hold on, let me tell you, like, so I was really impressed. So like I'm like, we're all wearing these lanyards with our names on it and stuff, So
Yeah.
I'm standing talking. I'm by a stand towards the entrance there, talking to somebody, and I see him walking in with like two people. So I'm like, so as he's walking, I'm like, hey, Gaten, how's it? And then he's like, hey, Sisa, and I'm like, wow, he paid attention.
What the fuck, man?
He obviously looked at my he knows
And your
where he
lanyard,
was,
the tag.
and that, to me, that's emotional intelligence. When you walk into a room and you realize, okay, greeting somebody by name can mean something or not mean something. So he was there the first day, and also the second day I saw him working on the floor. I do know there was something he did sign in the arts and culture, because I mean, it's an arts and culture event at the end of the day.
Obviously, yeah.
And so yeah, I was very impressed. I mean, he was there, he was taking questions, and he was genuinely, seemingly interested into what is going on, which is dope. I like that. That is not, I mean, he didn't have to go to Fame Week and be there, but he was there, which is pretty dope. I also the guys from the Biz,
that's what I want to find out, man. Like, are you fucking betraying us? There is it there on the screen if you're whoever's watching. I'm like, what's going on, huh? What's going on, though?
So here's the thing, Caesar. I don't talk about it often, but like, I'm quite a big deal in this film space. Like everybody.
You go, boy.
Like literally, like my content knowledge and mind and space. So yeah, they asked me for an interview to talk about the market, what goes on in the market, why the market, and I also happen to say, hey, by the way, I actually have my own podcast where I actually do film and music review, and we talk. So yeah, so I did give a shout out in the podcast to the Slicer TV podcast. Don't get it twisted. I'm looking out for that content. So maybe once I get the footage, we can share that for you guys to see next week. Yeah. So that's like a 20-minute interview I had there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing, and I think like for even our viewers, instead of people talking about like places they were at and how much fun they were having. We constantly about our job. We constantly about what we are, what we bring, and to the podcast, and obviously giving us a stature, because that's what we do. And I think a lot of people also don't understand, or probably don't know, that you've traveled, you've lived in Mauritius, you've been
Lived in Abidjan.
Kenya, Abidjan, Nigeria,
I've
all of
been
these
to almost every
places.
single country on this continent. Like I've been to like probably 75% of the countries in this continent. I need to close it off and finish it completely. But yeah, and all of that, I did it in the space of content distribution. So I was seeing clients, broadcasters, advertising agencies. So yeah, no, this is what I do for a living. This is what pays the bills. I don't just talk. The movies is passion to me. Don't get me wrong, but I'm also
for
in the
sure.
business. I'm also in the business of actual content and film distribution and so forth. So when I review, it's a personal thing. My reviews on my Facebook page, and it's a personal review. And the great thing about arts, like I always say, arts is subjective. What
Yeah,
I view
for
and
sure.
see may not be the same as you. You can look at the exact same piece of art and not see the same thing.
And interpret it differently. Yeah.
Completely. So there's never a rubbish review or a bad review or whatever the case may be. I mean, even the movie I'm going to review now, it is so outside of my sphere and genres of films that I've ever
It's
firstly
like
watched,
what
firstly
was
watched,
it?
and secondly to actually review. I didn't plan on reviewing it, but I'm like, you know what? Why not? So let's get to the film, and then I can take you all through my thoughts about the film this week.
All right, man, let's do this. A quick reminder before we get to the movie review. That's why I play that. Please do subscribe, do follow us. We have an entire YouTube channel, the Slicer TV podcast. We want your comments. What do we need to improve? We obviously are a live podcast, so which means that your like we afford you most. I think this is what people don't understand. It's like most podcasts are recorded, all right. That is to achieve perfection, that is to get everything in place, but ours is different. We want to speak to you live. We want your comments. If there's anything in the movie space that you would like to know, if you're a cinematographer, a student, or whatever, you have questions around content buying and all kinds of stuff, you have an expert. You have somebody who's in that space that you actually can talk to. And with that, we do this.
Hey, what up, what up, what up? It is that time of the show, the movie review. So, before I give you the title of the film review that we're going to be doing this week, as we'll play the trailer at the end. So, horror as a genre in film, I don't watch. It's not my, I find horror to be, this is my personal opinion, I find it to be lazy. I find it to be something that, imagine watching something and sitting there anxious the whole entire time. So I'm watching something to be scared. So that's always been my kind of view about horror films, And I mean, horror films, there's only been 6 horror films that have ever been nominated for Best Picture at the Academies, and only one has ever won, which is Silence of the Lambs, and even that is part thriller. Anyway, the movie review for this week is a movie called The Deliverance. The Deliverance is a film by Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels is he's a very known film producer, filmmaker. He's actually done some really good movies. Black Dude, Precious, if you remember, was I think his first feature film. Precious. It had Monique and it had that big girl. I just forget her name. That was kind of like her breakthrough. He also did The Butler, with Forrest Whitaker and other actors. So he's pretty established as a I would say a dope film director and producer. So this is the Lee Daniels film. It's on Netflix. It's called The Deliverance. So the premise for the movie is about a mother of three. She lives she just moved into this house. She's renting. She's got her challenges, going through whatever it is, and her mother lives with her. Her mother's just moved in to live with her, and she has a white mother. Her mother's Glenn Close in the movie plays her mother. Like I still want to know how Lee Daniels convinced Glenn Close to be this mother who loves black men and has a mixed race daughter. And the lead is played by Andra Day, who's a musician and actress. She's in that film, The Billie Holiday versus the People. I think she was even nominated. She's phenomenal. She's really phenomenal. And the movie also has Monique. So the premise of the movie is they live in this house, and she has, I think, like a 7-year-old boy or 8-year-old boy, and then two teenagers, a girl and a boy. Strange things start happening in the house. Like when I mean strange things, like noises at night, banging. The father is not there. He's in the army, but they're no longer together with the mother. And to cut a long story short, the movie is about. So this house is haunted. There's a demon in this house, and the demon takes over the young child's mind to start doing evil things in the house. And then there's a lady who's an evangelist who approaches her and says, "Hey, this happened many years ago, blah, blah, blah. I can help you to do a deliverance." I didn't even know the difference between an exorcism and deliverance. So I believe the difference is that deliverance is done by an evangelist, and I don't know the technicalities, but it's, if you know an exorcism, pretty similar situation. And I mean, I'm not going to kill the story to you of everything that happens, but it has ultimately a happy ending. Uh, in it, they become free of this demon, but unfortunately, there's some tragedies that happen along the way. Um, Glenn Close, my goodness, she plays this mother who clearly loves black men, and she lives with I mean, her love interest in the movie is Omar Epps. Funny enough, this lady, but she does it so well. I don't know. She kind of reminded me. Do you remember that lady who was in the NAACP? The white lady was discovered later. Whatever Dolezal her name was, she had that look and vibe about her. The movie I would never watch, but it kept me interested. And the wildest part for me is the fact that the movie is based on a true story. Like, it's literally based on a true story. When the movie ends, they even show a picture of the house, and it's a wild movie. I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie ever, but it was really shocking, and you take things like demons for granted, that we actually live in the time of demons. Strangely enough, and that's the wildest part for me about that movie, man. I would give the I would give the movie a 6.5 out of 10, and only because I don't watch horror, so I would have given it a 1 under normal circumstances. But I think
I give it a
that's
damn zero, bro. I don't do horror
but
movies for
but
shit.
but the fact that I watched it and it kept me intrigued up until the end is why I give it a 6.5. I think it was well shot. It didn't delve too deeply into that horror stuff, and the fact that it's a true story, my word, is wild. It's wild. Yeah, the Deliverance, 6.5 out of 10 for me on the Deliverance.
You're probably gonna pick up the comment, because I also got to. I didn't sit too long on it,
Yeah.
because we watched it on a Friday, and I was working a bit later on, and I was like, thank goodness, because I mean, like, obviously, if it's a movie that I'm interested in, so I'm gonna make time and make sure that, like, there's nothing in the thing for me. Very interesting, very weird, and I think it's a very just my 2 cents worth. Very slow movie. It takes a bit of time, and you have the three of them. I think it's the daughter, the mom, and the grandmother. They're sitting, they plaiting each other's hair, and they're going on about a birthday. And then there's this young boy who's like, so it goes on like with all of these things like that are sort of like different. And mom goes to is it for her
She goes to
cancer,
chemo. Yes, she goes to
for
chemo. Yeah.
chemo, and then realizes that the daughter has been paying, and it looks like
Yet she hates the daughter. They hate each other.
bro.
So those are also the things I took from the movie. Is that like the daughter curses the mother the whole entire time. You say she hates the mother, but she's doing good for the mother without the mother knowing.
In fact, that's why I know this shit is twisted, and I was like, "Fuck this shit." This one hates the other one's guts, and then, but like the other one is busy paying for chemo for that.
The son hates the mother too because she's a drunkard, I believe. But at the very same time, the son loves. It's listen, man. If forget the horror part of it, just elements. There are many households that are like that, where there's so much trauma. Because the daughter, reason why she hates the mother is because the mother was clearly a lady about town, seemingly. And was never there. So the mother now has discovered the Lord. So she's a born again Christian, Glenn Close, in her later years with the cancer. But you can't take away her daughter's trauma living with her. So she's like, you can't judge me, yet you weren't a perfect mother either. And there's these kids who hate and love their mother at the same time. It's a lot is in it. That's why I mean, for example, like my partner, she doesn't care for that horror stuff, but she caught me watching it. And next thing, she was drawn in it just like me. And we both were like sitting like on some, whoa, this movie, wow, what a trip.
Wow.
So that's why I actually I'm like, you know what? The movie has received not the greatest. And another reason is that horror movies are not really genuinely black films. You don't
That's another thing. That's before we I mean, like we go to the to the trailer and spoil it for a person who wants to watch it, because I think like that was the biggest thing for me. I'm like, I'm watching this thing and I'm like, in most cases with us, it's not really a horror. It's like yo, we are talking.
If it wasn't for Lee Daniels, the film director and director and producer of the film, if it wasn't a Lee Daniels film, I don't think I would have
probably passed.
But I mean, Lee Daniels and the cast, I was like, maybe let me give it a chance. And I'm actually glad I did. It's not a bad movie at all. Yeah.
Well, let's give the people what they be wanting.
Remember, before we get started, whatever it says to you, do not listen to it. It will play on your heart, it will play on your mind. My name is Apostle Bernice James. The other person present is Ebony Jackson, the mother. Father, we ask that you cleanse and sanctify us for this deliverance. Ebony, get back.
If you believe, you shall be saved.
Now, I knew it was crazy when I saw that boy drinking milk and like fucking past his mouth. I'm like, no ways, dog. I was like, no ways, my dog.
and that time he's lactose intolerant, so like the demon are taking over him. No, give it a chance. If you're afraid of horror movies, maybe not watch it in the evening. Maybe watch it
in the evening,
in the morning. No, don't watch it in the evening. Is what I'm saying. It's pretty. Listen, it's scary. Don't get me wrong. And like, and the fact that it's based on a life story, you probably think, shit, is my house having demons from 1,000 years ago here? And because the whole premise when I see this is the fact that when God outcasted Satan from heaven, apparently 1,300 angels followed him.
They fucked off with him. I was like, probably
They
like
followed him.
Floyd was thinking. I was like, yeah, I'm going to.
They followed him, and those are the demons that apparently, like, that cast spells on people and so forth, that are living amongst us and so forth. So hence I said it's based on a true story, dog. I mean, who might argue what really happened in that woman's story,
Mm,
in that
mm.
family story?
Yeah,
No doubt.
yeah, a man, like coming up, like in the coming weeks. Obviously, we were saying, I mean, like it is the season. It is a time for people to step out and do things and be out there. I mean, like I was looking at my timeline. I was like, fuck, people are out there. There's one other thing that's super interesting. Super interesting for me. Was the beef between the beef between Big Zulu and Duncan. I don't know, like looked like you.
I saw you posting about that, but I know nothing of their beef. But what I do know about Duncan is that he's a spitter, and I don't know of Big Zulu being a spitter. I don't know why he would try and try and challenge someone like Duncan. Maybe he's trying to. Some people, start beefs just to
To gain
I don't know.
traction
Yeah, just to gain
for
traction,
numbers.
to grandstand on other people's things. I mean, we can go back to the Casper Nyovas and AKA. It was all as clear as daylight that AKA was the better rapper than than
Mm.
than Casper. But Casper had the hits that maybe were more. And since AK, someone is even saying recently that since AKA is passed, like Casper, like you would have thought he'd be stepping up, but it's almost
There
like
was a yeah. I
it's
feel
almost like
you.
it's almost like he needed AKA to be relevant. So I'm making relevance to the reference to this based on it's almost like Big Zulu needs a Duncan,
To keep
to be
jabbing at.
relevant.
Yeah, for relevance. I agree with you fully there. I mean, look, it's been there for quite some time. There was I think I caught it at about 150 bars, right? Because that was the one that was topical, where Duncan went very, 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 very hard on Big Zulu. And so much that, like, it created a space where Big Zulu was able to be invited into radio stations to talk about, this guy going all personal. Imagine back in the day, Ice Cube and NWA being invited to talk about, yeah, no, no Vaseline and blah 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 and all of that, and all the beefs that had been there. I mean, like in hip hop, Jay-Z and like thinking they get invited. So I think that concept, because of its volatility, and how personal it can get, it comes and goes. And I think this is what it found in South Africa, because Duncan went very hard. And I think, as far as vernacular pens are concerned in South Africa, I mean, like, he's Zakwe's boy. And I've
Another
always
heavy
said this.
hitter.
I've always said this, and not just in the hip hop space, but like just in music and in general. And I'm not trying to be tribal about it. Zulu people are phenomenal composers. They
Mm,
are phenomenal people who can tell a story, infusing language, infusing history, infusing their beliefs. You know
mm,
what? And I think for these two guys, because if you think about it, they both come from KZN. One came out a particular way, and one came out a particular way. And
mm.
I think for Big Zulu, it's been like, you need to drum up numbers. Remember, these guys are influencers at the end of the day. Somebody's gonna come knocking at you, who's sponsoring you, and say, "Hey, look, the numbers are dropping. You're not getting any more likes because that's what you leverage on." Because I'm like, no, I can bring you these types of numbers, but like, it's not been happening. So when yeah, to cut it short, when Duncan did 150 and he annihilated Big Zulu, and then he came up with 200, Duncan, that is. And this time around, I would like for you to do yourself a favor and go watch, or go listen rather to 200 bars by Duncan. The boy, man, like, was fucking
Well,
mind.
I
He's
mean,
fucking
I mean,
mind.
I don't believe in coincidences. The fact that Big Zulu and Casper have had to garner popularity by doing something as hideous as going to go do a boxing match.
A boxing
To,
match, and he talks
I
about
mean,
it in the in the 200.
real spitters don't need to do that.
Mm.
The bars speak
The
for them.
ring is, yeah, that's the mic.
Precisely.
The Yeah, it
So
was
I said it
crazy,
all.
man.
Yeah,
It
no
was
doubt.
crazy, but it's a beautiful one. But I think like the pinnacle of it, though, when Azizi, was the fact that Duncan did the 200, right, and it was just he was not pointing or talking or name calling or anything like that, right? He was just talking to hip hop, and I was like, fuck. I had missed the 200 bars, but I only caught onto it when Big Zulu that dropped 200 bars, which sampled a sample of the second national anthem of the country, which is Sister Bettina. You know, I
Oh,
mean, like, to think
I
like
know.
that, and Duncan went hip
I,
hop, like, straight up, and now you
I,
playing on people's emotions is on some, like, let's be on this shit. But anyway, the pinnacle of it, like, the ultimate, the climax of it, that boy Scuva, aka Duncan, he didn't wait 24 hours. I thought I was crazy because I was on my phone the whole time. He dropped a single called what do they call it after the funeral, after tears.
After tears, yeah.
Annihilated Big Zulu once again, and that is why I'm
I
saying
think
Big
I saw
Zulu
you posting about that.
leave that.
I think
Yeah,
I
he
saw you
needs to leave
posting.
that boy alone, man. He needs to leave that boy alone. But anyway,
Sometimes he's a
yeah.
better to the point that they don't even like if you remember Muhammad Ali would say
Fat
that
mentality.
I'm gonna whip you so bad that you're gonna even like hate the fact that you even dreamt about ever beating me.
Who was I'm gonna bit this motherfucker so much. I'm gonna cut off his leg, and I'm gonna cut up his arm, and I'm gonna beat him with his own arm. So
That
that's
he
what he
never.
needs to do now.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. All right,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Azizi, it's
Yeah,
been fed, my bro, as
no doubt.
always. And obviously, episode 11. Damn, we moving, and hopefully, and definitely, the first lady is back on the podcast next time. And by the way, we talked about campscapes, which we did in the Hartis just now. Beginning, is it beginning end of November? But like, I will have the details on our social media platforms. We're going to the Mountain Kingdom with campscapes. So yeah, if you are into camping, like some glam camping. When last did you go camping? School.
No. I've been doing camping and hikes now. Still, the last couple of. I think the last
Yeah,
hike.
so I see you be sweating on camps now. I mean, like,
The,
on
the,
hikes.
the last hike I did, I think, was somewhere in Machalis, probably last year, sometime early last year. I haven't done it in a while though, but yeah, try to do a hike a year. Yeah, it's one of those things. There's no excitement. I do it because I want to do it, but I mean, I did it so much growing up. It's not trivial and exciting new thing for me. But
But it's
yeah,
fucking exciting for me. I mean, like, I was a Boy
you were
Scout.
a scout,
I was
nigga.
a Boy
Yeah, I know
Scout.
that.
We had survival hikes, survival camps, where you had to have your food for 3 days, like, fit in your one and in your hands.
You must share your pictures and your shorts, then, nigga. I've
Oh,
seen
no,
you.
fuck you, nigga. That shit ain't happening. Thank you very much. It was nice hanging out with you, Sisa and Jima.
Hey, stay tuned, guys.
Gaten's
See you next
friend.
podcast. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for the support. And yeah, we do this because we love doing this, and we love.
Well, that's all, man. That's it.
All good.
Thank you
Peace.
so much. Yeah, man.